The Tale of the Disguised Wealth. Once upon a time, in the lush and vibrant village of Enugu, there lived a wealthy man named Obinna. He was known far and wide for his immense riches, which he had amassed through trade and wisdom. His compound was the largest in the village, filled with luxurious items that only a few could dream of. Yet, despite his wealth, Obinna was deeply troubled. He had reached the age where he desired to marry, but he feared that the women who came to him did so only because of his wealth. Obinna wanted a wife who would love him for his heart, not for his riches. Obinna's mother, Mama Nkechi, was a wise woman who had seen much in her lifetime. She understood her son's dilemma and offered him counsel. "My son," she said, "if you truly wish to find a wife who loves you for who you are, not for what you have, you must first know how to see beyond the surface. To find such a woman, you must live as a common man." Obinna pondered his mother's advice and decided to act on it. He devised a plan to disguise himself as a poor man, hoping to see who in the village would accept him for his true self. He left his grand mansion and moved to a small, run-down hut at the edge of the village. He exchanged his fine clothes for simple garments, worn and tattered. His jewelry, which had once adorned his neck and wrists, was replaced with beads of clay. Obinna even altered his manner of speaking, adopting the humble tone of a man who had little in this world. The transformation was complete, and soon, no one in the village recognized the rich merchant who had once been the pride of Enugu. The news spread quickly. A poor man had come to live in the village, seeking a new beginning. The villagers, always curious, whispered among themselves, wondering why a man with such humble means would come to their prosperous land. Despite his modest appearance, Obinna was diligent and kind. He worked in the fields alongside the farmers, never complaining, always offering a helping hand. He attended village gatherings, always at the edge of the crowd, quietly observing, learning about those who lived around him. As time passed, he became well-liked among the villagers, though many still saw him as just another poor man struggling to survive. Among the villagers, there was a young woman named Amora. She was known for her beauty, but more importantly, for her kindness and wisdom. Amora lived a simple life with her father, a widower who had raised her with care and love. They had little, but what they had, they shared freely with those in need. Amora was beloved in the village, not just for her appearance, but for her gentle spirit and her willingness to help anyone in need. Obinna first noticed Amora during a village festival. She danced with joy, her laughter ringing out like a bell, but what struck him most was how she treated everyone with equal respect, whether they were wealthy or poor. Intrigued, he began to find ways to be near her, always observing from a distance, testing her character. He noticed how she would share her food with the hungry, how she spoke kindly to the elderly, and how she would comfort children who were hurt or scared. One day, as Obinna was walking in the fields, he noticed Amora struggling with a heavy load of firewood. Without hesitation, he rushed to her aid. "Let me help you," he offered, taking the load from her. Amora looked at him with surprise, and then smiled. "Thank you, my friend. You are always so helpful," she said, her voice warm and sincere. As they walked together, Obinna and Amora began to talk. They spoke of simple things, of the weather, the harvest, the daily life in the village. But soon, their conversation deepened. Amora spoke of her hopes and dreams, of her desire for a life filled with love and kindness. She expressed her belief that wealth did not define a person, but rather their actions and their heart. Obinna listened intently, his heart swelling with admiration for this woman who seemed to see the world as he did. He found himself drawn to her not just for her beauty, but for her spirit, which shone brighter than any jewel he had ever owned. Over the weeks that followed, Obinna and Amora grew closer. They spent more time together, sharing stories, walking side by side, and enjoying each other's company. Despite his growing feelings for her, Obinna still wondered if Amora's kindness would extend to him if she knew of his true wealth. He decided it was time to reveal his identity. One evening, as the sun dipped low over the horizon, Obinna invited Amora to walk with him to the edge of the village. There, under a great iroko tree, he turned to her and said, "Amora, there is something I must tell you." Amora looked at him with concern. "What is it?" she asked. I have not been entirely honest with you, Obinna confessed. I am not the poor man you think I am. I am Obinna, the wealthy merchant who lives in the grand mansion on the hill. I disguised myself to see who in this village would love me for who I am, not for what I have. Amora was silent for a long moment, her eyes wide with surprise. Obinna held his breath, fearing that she would reject him now that she knew the truth. But then, Amora smiled, a smile that warmed his heart like the sun after a long storm. Obinna, she said softly, whether you are rich or poor does not matter to me. I care for you because of the man you are, not the wealth you possess. You have shown me kindness, humility, and love. These are the treasures that truly matter. Relief and joy flooded Obinna's heart. He took Amora's hands in his and vowed, I will spend the rest of my life making you as happy as you have made me today. News of Obinna's true identity and his love for Amora quickly spread through the village. Many were shocked to learn that the wealthy merchant had been living among them in disguise, but they were even more amazed by Amora's choice to love him for who he was, not for what he had. The villagers celebrated their union with great joy, for they had witnessed the power of true love, a love that saw beyond wealth, beyond appearances, to the very heart of a person. And so, Obinna and Amora were married in a grand ceremony, not in the mansion on the hill, but in the small hut where their love had blossomed. They lived a life filled with happiness and contentment, knowing that they had found in each other the greatest treasure of all. In time, their story became a legend in Enugu, told to generations as a reminder that true love is not measured by wealth, but by the heart that gives it. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For more this video, kindly support us by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. African Tales by Alola.